Reborn Kunpeng, famous in the wilderness, freely roams and roams freely, living happily ever after. I hope to bring everyone a different interpretation of the story of the wilderness. Keywords of the novel.仙灵妖神记no pop-ups,仙灵妖神记TXT complete collection download,仙灵妖神记latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Wedge Rebirth. I am Kunpeng. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 1. Wedge Rebirth. I am Kunpeng. Who am I? Where am I? What's wrong with me? She murmured to herself. Hiss. The tearing pain came from this body, and it couldn't help but inhale. Suddenly, a massive amount of information rushed into the brain, frantically inputting and buzzing, almost crashing due to a short period of inattention. I am Kunpeng. Am I the legendary ancestor of Kunpeng? Wait, aren't I reading a novel? What's going on? Opening up comes from later generations, parents are still alive, and wives are all present. I have been fond of online novels since my freshman year of high school, and I have read many novels that have swept across the internet, such as the Flood and Flood novels and the Fengshen novels. Although this type of novel has declined in recent years, this obsession and love still remain undiminished. I have read no less than 100 books and have specifically flipped through books such as The Romance of the Gods, Journey to the West, and Classic of Mountains and Seas. The Grand World Framework, countless cool treasures, various immortals, Buddhas, demons, and strange races, magical spells, and complex games form a magnificent picture. Kaikai has also summarized countless rankings of various clan divine powers and powerful experts, as well as the ranking of magic treasures. Kunpeng is a great power that opens up one's mind to pursue, but such novels have turned Kunpeng into a villain, and Kaikai is still indignant about it. On this day, Kaikai was reading another novel about the wilderness, which mentioned Kunpeng. He couldn't help but search for the image of Kunpeng in Chengdu, and immediately felt a sense of eagle hitting the sky, fish flying shallow at the bottom, and proud crossing between heaven and earth. Fu Kun is a fish. He dives into the blue sea, swims in the currents, his gills sinking in the vast sea, and his tail falling under the wind and waves. However, he thinks he can get the well of the Haoyu, which is quite remarkable. Pengji is a bird, brushing its feathers, indulging in drinking and pecking. Its wings soar between heaven and earth, like a neck on the banks of rivers and seas, while the two ducks ride on geese, thinking they can be obtained and obscene. It transforms its feathers and hangs in the sky, with a wind of 90,000, shaking its scales and crossing the sea, and hitting the water with 3,000. Open your heart and fold it endlessly. This is in line with the Kunpeng image commonly referred to as the Kunpeng Chronicle in later generations, too. How could such a temperament and character be a cunning villain? At this moment, Kunpeng in the picture seemed to move for a moment. He opened his eyes and thought he was dizzy. He quickly blinked before suddenly spinning around and unconscious when he looked back. Yu woke up, but came to this desolate world. Annotation 1. The age of the 5 elements calendar. The number starts from 1, stands at 3, completes at 5, thrives at 7, and is located at 9, so the sky and earth go 90,000 miles. Kunpeng transcends beyond the 9 heavens. Annotation 2. Kunpeng Ji refers to lofty aspirations and aspirations, which are to prepare for a great cause. The new generation of domestically produced large transport aircraft Y.20 is codenamed Kunpeng. Huawei released the High-Performance Data Center Processor Kunpeng processor to the industry in January 2019. Li Bai's, up to Li Yong. The Great Peng rises with the wind in one day, soaring up 90,000 miles. If the wind stops, it can still shake the Cangming water. Du Fu's, under the mooring of Yang City, states. Unexpectedly, there are changes like Kunpeng in the southern picture. Su Shi's poem, competing for exam officials to compare drama works, reads. Kunpeng water hits 3,000 miles, rough training drives 100,000 men. Xin Chijis, man Jianghong Kujifuchuan. Do not believe that Penglai has its own strength when it hangs down from the sky, separated by wind and waves. Li Qingzhao's, fisherman's pride. The sky meets the clouds and waves, connecting the dawn and mist. For 90,000 miles, the wind and Peng Peng are rising. The wind rests, and the Peng boat blows to the three mountains. It can be seen that Kunpeng represents a positive image. A symbol of being independent and proud, with lofty aspirations to preserve the world and the world. It's hard to imagine that the author of the novel, The Great Wilderness, blindly caters to the setting made by my favorite author, Dream of the Goddess J, non-derogatory, anti-crab, and indiscriminately portrays the Kunpeng as a vicious villain. This does not conform to the praise of countless literati and scholars throughout history for its image. End of this chapter. Chapter 2, Treatment Bird. Oak bird, fat bird, shussy bird, shao. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2, Healing Bird. Oak bird, fat heritage bird, shussy bird, shao bird, han bird, white bird, han bird, general bird, and gu wagon, quercus bird, shaped like a quail, black text and red wang, healing hemorrhoids. Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, on the mountain of the heavenly emperor, there is a bird that looks like a quail, with black text and a red body. It is called a oak and can be eaten with hemorrhoids. Translation. In Tiandi Mountain, there is another type of bird in the mountain, which is shaped like a typical quail bird, but has black patterns and red neck hair. Its name is oak, and eating its meat can cure hemorrhoids. Fat bird, like a quail, with a yellow body and red beak, healing leprosy and killing parasites. Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, in Yingshan, there are birds that look like quails, with yellow bodies and red beaks. They are called fei and can be eaten to kill insects. Translation. In Yingshan, there is a type of bird in the mountains that is shaped like a typical quail bird. It has a yellow body and a red mouth, and its name is fei. Eating its meat can cure leprosy and kill parasites in the body. Shusi Niao, with a crow-like appearance and human feet, healing the tumor disease on the neck. Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, on the mountain of Gaotu, there is a bird that looks like a bird and has human feet, named Shusi. It feeds on galls. Translation. Gaotu Mountain, there is also a bird in the mountain that looks like a hawk but has human-like feet. Its name is Shusi. Eating its meat can cure the tumor disease on the human neck. Shao Niao, four-winged one-eyed dog tail, for treating stomach pain and diarrhea. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, on the mountain of Liangxiu, there is a bird that looks like a praising father, with 4 wings, 1 eye, and a dog's tail. It is called shao, and its sound is like a magpie. Eating it can relieve abdominal pain and alleviate diarrhea. Translation. In Liankashan, there is also a bird in the mountains that looks like a quafu, with 4 wings, 1 eye, and a dog-like tail. Its name is shao, and its call is similar to the call of magpies. Eating its meat can stop stomach pain and also cure diarrhea. Uj Youth, The Book of Mountains and Seas. Beishan Jing, Mount Makeng has a bird-like appearance, with a white head and a green body, and yellow feet. It is called. Its name comes from the beginning, and it can be used as a metaphor for not being hungry when eating. Translation. Ma Ching Shan, there is also a bird in the mountain that looks like a typical crow, but has a white head, a blue body, and yellow feet. Its name is, and its call is the pronunciation of its own name. Eating its meat makes people not feel hungry, and it can also treat elderly amnesia. The Book of Mountains and Seas. Beishan Jing, a single mountain has no vegetation on it. There is a bird that looks like a pheasant, with a written head, white wings, and yellow feet, called a white swan. When eaten, it hurts and can sleep. Translation. On a single mountain, there are no flowers, plants, or trees. There is another type of bird in the mountains, shaped like an ordinary pheasant, but with a patterned head, white wings, and yellow feet. Its name is Ya. Eating its meat can cure sore throat and also cure madness. Gao, treating wind by disease. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, on the mountain of Monlian, there is no grass or trees on it, but birds. They live in groups and fly together. Their fur is like that of a female pheasant, named after her. She calls out to herself and feeds on the wind. There is another type of bird in the mountains that likes to live in groups and fly in groups. Its tail is similar to that of a female pheasant, and its name is. The sound it calls is the pronunciation of its own name, and eating its meat can cure rheumatism. Pinmao, bird body and human face, not heatstroke. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, on the mountain of Beishao, there is a bird that looks like a black bird, with a human face. It is named after flying at night and resting during the day, and it has already been eaten. Translation. In Beishao Mountain, there is also a bird in the mountain that looks like a crow, but has a human face. Its name is Pinmao, it flies at night and hides during the day. Eating its meat can prevent people from getting heatstroke. The Classic of Mountains and Seas. The North Mountain Classic, Shaohou Mountain. The water from Ming and Zhang flows southward into Huangzi. There is a bird with a black and white appearance, called a wag, which cannot be eaten easily. Translation. Shaohou Mountain. The Mingjiang River originates from this mountain and flows southward into Huangzi. There is a type of bird in the mountains, which is shaped like a typical crow but has white stripes. Its name is Gi, and eating its meat can make people's eyes bright and not dim. End of this chapter. Chapter 3, Main War. Zhu Yen Beast, Fu Ji Bird, Qin Pai Bird, Bo Huang Beast. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3, Main War. Zhu Yen Beast, Fu Qiao Bird, Qin Pai Bird, Bo Huang Beast, Fish, Wolf, Sniper Beast, Liang Chu Beast, Zhu Yanshou, White-Headed and Barefoot. The Classic of Mountains and Seas, Western Mountain Classic. The mountain of Xiaozi is filled with white jade on top and red copper below. There is a beast that looks like an ape, with a white head and bare feet, named Zhu Yan. When seen, it becomes a great soldier. Translation. Shaped like an ordinary ape, but with a white head and red feet, it is named Zhu Yan and can cause a great war as soon as it appears. The Classic of Mountains and Seas. Western Mountain Classic. On the mountain of Lutai, there is a bird that looks like a rooster and has a human face. It is called Fuqiao, and its sound is self-proclaimed. When seen, there are soldiers. There is a bird in the mountains, shaped like an ordinary rooster but with a human-like face. Its name is Fuqiao, and its call is the pronunciation of its own name. When it appears, there will be war in the world. Qin Pai, carved and written in ink, with a head and a red beak and tiger claws. Zhongshan, Qin transformed into a large E, with a carved shape and a white head in ink, a red beak and tiger claws, and a sound like a morning swan. When seen, there are soldiers. Translation. Qin Pai transformed into a large osprey, shaped like an ordinary eagle but with black stripes and a white head, a red mouth and tiger-like claws, making a sound like the morning swan's call, and there was a great war as soon as it appeared. The Book of Mountains and Seas. Western Mountain Classic. Huan Mountain has a heavenly god, whose shape is like a cow, with 8 legs and 2 horse tails, and its sound is like that of an emperor. When you see it, your city has soldiers. There is a celestial being living in the mountains, whose shape resembles an ordinary cow, but he has 8 legs, 2 heads, and a horse's tail. His cry is like the sound of a thin film playing an instrument, and wherever it appears, there is war. The Classic of Mountains and Seas. Western Mountain Classic. The mountain, where birds and mice share the same nest, is home to many small fish, which resemble small fish in shape. If they move, their town will have a large army. Translation. There are many small fish growing in the water, shaped like ordinary small fish. Wherever they appear, there will be a great war. Wolf, shaped like a fox with white tail and long ears. Zhongshan Classic in the Classic of Mountains and Seas Snake Mountain. There is a lot of gold on top and a lot of chalk below. Its wood is abundant in cotoneaster and camphor trees. The grass is abundant in glory, but few in bitterness. There is a beast that looks like a fox with a white tail and long ears. It is called a wolf and sounds like a fox. There are soldiers in the country. There is internal turmoil within the country. Translation. Snake Mountain. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a fox, but with a white tail and long ears. Its name is Wolf, and there will be war in any country it appears in. Snipe like a beast, like a scorching mouse, barking like a dog. Zhongshan Classic in the Classic of Mountains and Seas Mount Edi. Above it are many jade, below it are many gold. There is a beast that looks like a scorching mouse and sounds like a barking dog. White-eared, white-beaked, named Ju-Ru, sounds like maggots. Seeing this, their country has a large army. Translation. Edi Mountain. There are abundant jade on the mountain and abundant gold at the foot. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a scorpion mouse, with white ears and a white mouth. Its name is Sniper-Ru, and in which country it appears, there will be a great war. Liang Chu Beast, resembling a beaver with white-headed tiger claws. Zhongshan Classic in the Classic of Mountains and Seas the Mountain of Grinding Stones. Its wood is full of thorns and thorns. Its yang is rich in gold, and its yin is rich in grinding stones. There is a beast like a beaver, with a white head and tiger claws, named Liang Canal. Seeing it, it indicates that its country has a large army. Translation. In Lisher Mountain, the trees are mostly peonies and goji berries. The southern part of the mountain is rich in gold, while the northern part of the mountain is rich in fine grinding stones. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a wild cat but with a white head and tiger-like claws. Its name is Liangxiu, and in which country it appears, there will be a great war. End of this chapter. Chapter 4, Man-Eating. Luo-luo birds, earth moles, proud because roe deer owls and swine beasts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4, Cannibalism. Luluonio, earth moles, Aoin, roe deer owl, Zhuhuai, Jew beast, Gujiao, Jew beast, Luo-luo bird, bird monster eats man. Shan Hai Jing. Shishan Jing, Lai Shan, with many sandalwood trees and many birds, is cannibalistic. Translation. Most of the trees in the mountains are sandalwood and oak trees, while most of the birds are luo-luo birds, which can eat people. The Book of Mountains and Seas. Western Mountain Classic, the hill of Kunlun has a beast that looks like a sheep and has 4 horns. It is called Tu Lu and is cannibalistic. There is a wild beast in the mountains that looks like an ordinary sheep but has 4 horns. Its name is Tu Lu, and it can eat people. Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, the 3 dangerous mountains are also mountains, with a wide range of hundreds of miles. There are beasts on it, with a shape like a cow, a white body with 4 horns, and a haughty appearance like a raincoat. Its name is, it has food. This 3 dangerous mountain has a radius of 100 miles. There is a wild beast on the mountain that looks like an ordinary cow, but has a white body and 4 horns. Its hard fur is long and dense, like a raincoat. Its name is, and it can eat people. Ro Owl, 11, A-O, the Book of Mountains and Seas. The Book of Northern Mountains and Seas, the mountain of Gowu is rich in jade above and copper below. There is a beast that looks like a sheep's body and a human's face, with its eyes under its armpits and tiger teeth and human claws. Its sound is like a baby, and it is called the roe deer owl, which feeds on humans. Gowu Mountain is rich in jade and copper on the mountain and below. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a sheep's body and a human's face. The eyes grow under the armpits, with tiger-like teeth and human-like nails, making a sound like a baby crying. The name is Ro Owl, a cannibal who loves food and serves as a chef among monsters. Zhu Huai, four-cornered human eyes, swine ear, pig ear and cow monster eating people, the Book of Mountains and Seas, the Book of North Mountains, there are beasts in the mountain of Beiyue, which are like cattle in shape, while the four corners, human eyes and swine ears, which are called Zhuhuai, whose pitch is like singing geese, are cannibals. Translation. In Beiyue Mountain, there is a wild beast that looks like a typical cow, but has four horns, human eyes, and pig ears. Its name is Zhuhuai, and its sound is like the chirping of geese, which can eat humans. Swine beast, shaped like a tiger and oxtail, the tiger body monster eats people, the Book of Mountains and Seas, the Book of Nanshan Mount Fuyu. There are beasts. They are like tigers and oxen, and their sounds are like barking dogs. They are called swine, and they are cannibals. Translation. Mount Fuyu. There is a kind of wild animal, which looks like a tiger but has a cow's tail. Its bark is like a dog's bark. Its name is swine, and it can eat people. Gudiao, shaped like a carving with horn, eagle monster eats people, Shan Hai Jing, Nan Shan Jing Mount Lu Wu. And the south flows into the torrential waters. Water is like a beast, called Gudiao. Its shape is like a carving with horns, and its sound is like the sound of a baby. It is cannibalistic. Translation. Lu Wu Mountain. In torrential water. There is a wild beast called Gudiao growing in the water. It looks like an eagle but has two horns on its head. Its voice is like the cry of a baby, and it is a cannibal beast. The Book of Mountains and Seas. Dongshan Jing, the mountain of Beihao faces the North Sea. Food water flows out, while the northeast flows into the sea. There is a beast that looks like a wolf, has a red-headed mouse eye, and its sound is like a dolphin. It is called a sniper and is cannibalistic. Mount Beihao stands tall on the edge of the North Sea. Food water originates from this mountain and flows northeast into the sea. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a wolf, with a red head and mouse-like eyes. It makes a sound like a little pig, and its name is. It can eat people. End of this chapter. Chapter 5 Herbs for Treating Diseases. By Li, Wenjing, Huangju, Du Heng. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Herbs for Treating Diseases. By Li, Wenshu, Huangyu, Du Heng, Lavender, Instrumented Sour Grass, Qihua Yang, Tu Chao, Ji Chu, By Li, Healing Heartache, in Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, the mountain of Shaohua has Bai Li grass, which looks like black chives and grows on rocks. It grows on the red edge of trees and is heartbreaking to eat. Translation. There is also a type of grass called Bai Li in the mountains, which looks like black chives but grows on rocks and also climbs trees. Eating it can cure heart pain. Wen Jing, treating deafness, Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, the mountains of Fuyu have more copper in their yang and more iron in their yin. There is a wooden stem on it, called a literary stem, which is actually like a jujube and can be deaf. Translation. There is a tree on the mountain called Wengan, which produces fruits like dates and can be used to treat deafness. Huanjiu can cure scabies and also treat edema disease, in the Classic of Mountains and Seas, Western Mountain Classic Jushan, with many trees on top and iron in its shade. There is a grass called Huanggui, which has a shape like a Chinese parasol, leaves like hemp, white and red, and a shape like an ochre. It can be soaked in scabies and can also be dried. There is a type of grass in the mountains, named Huangjiu, which looks like a Chinese parasol tree, but its leaves are like hemp leaves, with white flowers and red fruits. The appearance of the fruits is like ochre, and bathing with it can cure scabies and also treat edema. Du Heng, who makes horses run fast and cures tumors, Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, on the mountain of the heavenly emperor, there is grass that looks like a common sunflower and has a foul odor like a withered plant. It is called duheng and can be used for walking horses, but it has already become a gall to eat cystic substance. Translation. In Tiandi Mountain, there is also a type of grass in the mountain that looks like sunflowers and emits a scent similar to that of withered plants. Its name is duheng. Wearing it can make horses run fast, and eating it can cure the tumor disease on the neck. Lavender, a remedy for leprosy/epidemic, Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, Fushan, with grass, is called lavender. It has hemp leaves and square stems, is red and black in color, and has a foul odor as if it were withered. Wearing it can cause leprosy, also known as leprosy in ancient times. There is a type of grass in the mountains called lavender. Its leaves resemble hemp leaves but it has square stems, red flowers, and black fruits. Its odor is like a weed. Inserting it on one's body can treat leprosy, the aura of a plague. Qi Xuan Chao, for treating leprosy, Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, Xian Shan, the water from Tiaojin flows out, while the southwest flows into Changzhe. Among them, there are many organic acids, which reach 1 in 10 at the age of 3 and are already consumed by the plague. Translation. In Xianshan, the water from Tiaokan originates from this mountain and flows southwest into Changzhe. Water produces organic acid, which can only be harvested once every 3 years. Eating it can cure leprosy in humans. Qihua Yang, for treating malaria, Shan Hai Jing, Dong Shan Jing, the mountain of Beihao faces the North Sea. There is a wood-like plant, which looks like a poplar and is red in color. In fact, it is like a jujube without seeds. Its taste is sour and sweet, and it does not cause malaria when eaten. Mount Beihao stands tall on the edge of the North Sea. There is a type of tree in the mountains, shaped like an ordinary poplar tree, with red flowers and fruit similar to dates but without seeds. Its taste is sour but sweet, and eating it can prevent people from contracting malaria. The Classic of Mountains and Seas. Zhongshan Classic, the Mountain of Sweet Dates. The water flows out together, while it flows westward into the river. There are many tall trees above it, and grass below it. The sunflower tree has apricot leaves, and the yellow flower has solid pods. It is called the sheath, which can be confused. Translation. Ganzhou Mountain. The Gongshui River originates from here and flows westward into the Yellow River. There are dense oak trees on the mountain. There is a type of grass at the foot of the mountain, with stems like sunflowers and leaves like apricot trees. It has yellow flowers and pods of fruit, named sheath. Eating it can cure blindness. The Classic of Mountains and Seas, Zhongshan Classic, by Ji Chu, Healing Mental Depression, the Mountain of Detachment. There is grass, which looks like sunflower leaves and is red in color. Its pods are solid and brown in shape. It is called jichu and can be eaten without squinting. Translation. Tuahu Mountain. There is a type of grass in the mountains that resembles the leaves of sunflowers and has red flowers. Its fruit pods are like those of palm trees, and its name is jichu. It can be used to cure mental depression, and taking it can prevent people from having nightmares. End of this chapter. Chapter 6, Healing Fish. Slippery fish, hollow fish, sarani fish, and fish. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6, Healing Fish. Slippery fish, hollow fish, sarani fish, fish, catfish, father fish, catfish, ponicus, and redfish, slippery fish, with a bare back and like a fish, for treating wart diseases, Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, the mountain of seeking is full of slippery fish. Its shape is like a phoenix, its back is bare, its sound is like a phoenix, and it has warts when eaten. Translation. Seeking a mountain, water skiing originates from this mountain and then flows westward into various rivers. Pi, water. There are many slippery fish in the water, shaped like ordinary eels, but with a red spine and a sound like a person playing a zither. Eating their meat can cure a person's warts. He luo yu, 1 head and 10 body, healing carbuncle and swelling disease. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, Qiaoming Mountain. The Qiao River flows westward into the river. Among them, the fish of Dwaha Luo have 1 head and 10 bodies, and their sound is like a barking dog. When eaten, they have already become swollen. Translation. Xiao Mingshan. Xiao Mingshui originates from this mountain and flows westward into the Yellow River. There are many herrings growing in the water, with 1 head but 10 bodies, and the sound they make is like a dog barking. Eating their meat can cure abscesses. Sarin fish with fish body and dog head, healing crazy diseases. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, on the mountains of Beiyue, the waters of Zhuhai flow out, while on the west they flow into the bustling waters. There are many catfish in the water, with their bodies and dog heads, their sounds like infants, and they are already eating wildly. Translation. Beiyue Mountain, the Zhuhai River originates from this mountain and flows westward into the Zhushui River. There are many sea bass in the water, with fish-like bodies and dog heads, making sounds like a baby crying. Eating its meat can cure madness. Fish, shaped like carp and chicken feet, for treating tumors. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, the mountain of prison law. The origin of Langs lies, while the northeast flows into Tai's. Among them, there are many fish, which look like carp and have chicken feet, and they have warts when eaten. Translation. Prison Law Mountain. There are many, growing in the water fish, shaped like a regular carp but with chicken claws, can cure tumor disease by eating its meat. Fish, eliminating fox smell. The classic of mountains and seas. The Northern Mountain Classic, County Yongji Mountain, where the Jin River flows out, flows southeast into the Fen River. Many of them, fish, with a shape like a crow, and a red unicorn, have a sound like a chide, and are not arrogant when eaten. Translation. County Yongshan, the Jinshui River originates from this mountain and then flows southeast into the Fenshui River. There are many minnows growing in the water, shaped like small minnows but with red scales and shells. The sound they make is like a person's rebuke, and eating their meat makes people no longer have a fox-like odor. 11 Father fish, fish head and swine body, cure vomiting. The Book of Mountains and Seas, the Book of North Mountains, Yangshan, leaving water to flow out, while flowing south into the river. Among them, there is a father's fish, which looks like a fish with a head and a swine body, and has vomited after eating. Translation. Yangshan, water originates from this mountain and flows southward into the Yellow River. There is a 11 father fish growing in the water, shaped like a typical crucian carp, with a fish's head and a pig's body. Eating its meat can cure vomiting. The classic of mountains and seas. Northern Mountain Classic, the mountain of Longho is devoid of vegetation and abundant in gold and jade. The decisive water flows out, and flows eastward into the river. Many of them are mermaids, resembling the fish emperor, fish, also known as catfish, with 4 legs and a sound like a baby. They eat without any illness. Longho Mountain does not grow flowers, plants or trees, but is rich in metal minerals and jade. Jueshui originates from this mountain and then flows eastward into the Yellow River. There are many mermaids in the water, shaped like the typical fish emperor, fish, also known as catfish, with 4 legs and a sound like a baby crying. Eating its meat can make people crazy. Shan Hai Jing, Nan Shan Jing, Jishan. There is a fish like a cow, with a tomb dwelling and a snake tail with wings. Its feathers are under the ground, and its sound is like that of a lingering cow. Its name is Yen, and it comes back to life after death in winter. Eating without swelling or illness. Translation. Jishan. There is a fish growing in the water, the size of a cow, living on a hillside. It has a snake tail and wings on its back, growing between its ribs. Its voice is like that of a plowing cow, and it is called a snake. In winter, it hibernates and inhabits. Eating its meat can prevent swelling. The classic of mountains and seas. Nanshan Jing, Qingqiu Mountain. The Zay of Wings. Among them, there are many red croakers, which are shaped like fish and have a human face. Their sound is like a mandarin duck, and they do not bite when eaten. Translation. Mount Qingqiu. Namely, wing water. There are many red but human-faced fish swimming in the water, and their voice is like that of a mandarin duck. Eating their meat can prevent them from getting sick. End of this chapter. Chapter 7, Eliminating Evil and Evil. Ran Yu, Tengu, Huan Beast, Huan Biao. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7, Repeating Evil. Ran Yu, Tengu, Huan Beast, Huan Biao, Meng Huai Beast, Emperor's House Tree, Jade Paste, Jin Yu, Ran Yu, Fish Body, Snake Head, 6 feet, to ward off evil energy. Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, the English Mountain. It is a fish left behind by many people, with a fish body and a snake head with 6 legs. Its eyes are like eyes and ears, and eating it makes people not squint, which can ward off evil. There are many lingering fish in the water, with the body of a fish, the head of a snake, and 6 legs. Their eyes are long like horse ears. Eating their meat can make people sleep without nightmares, and can also ward off evil spirits. The Book of Mountains and Seas. Western Mountain Classic, there is a beast in Yin Mountain, which looks like a fox and has a white head. It is called a heavenly dog, and its sound is like a pomegranate, which can ward off evil. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a wild cat but with a white head. Its name is Tengu, and its cry is similar to the pronunciation of cat. People can keep it to ward off evil spirits. An, like a beaver, with 3 tails in one day, to treat jaundice and ward off evil spirits. Shan Hai Jing, Shishan Jing, Iwang Mountain, without grass or trees, abundant in gold and jade. There is a beast that looks like a beaver, with 3 tails in one day. It is called Huan, and its sound is like capturing 100 sounds. It can resist evil and subdue it. Translation. Iwang Mountain, there are no flowers, plants or trees on the mountain, but metal minerals and jade are everywhere. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a typical wild cat, with only 1 eye but 3 tails. Its name is Huan, and its sound seems to surpass that of 100 animals. Raising it can ward off evil spirits, and eating its meat can cure jaundice. 1. The Classic of Mountains and Seas. The Western Mountain Classic, looking at the mountain with its wings, there is a bird that looks like a black bird. It has 3 heads and 6 tails and is good at laughing. It is called the Gi Biao, and wearing it is not annoying and can also ward off evil. There is also a type of bird in the mountains that looks like an ordinary crow, but has 3 heads and 6 tails and likes to laugh. Its name is. Eating its meat can prevent people from having nightmares and ward off evil spirits. 2. Qitu, with a black-like appearance and 5 colored red characters, used to treat carbuncle and anthracnose. Shan Hai Jing, Beishan Jing, with a mountain, there is a bird that looks like a crow, with 5 colors and a red text. It is called, and it is a female that feeds on it without necrosis. Translation. There is also a bird in the mountains that looks like an ordinary crow, but is covered in colorful feathers with red stripes. Its name is Qitu, and this bird has both male and female genitalia. Eating its meat can prevent people from developing carbuncle. Meng Huai, shaped like a spear with red hair, avoiding evil, Shan Hai Jing, Beishan Jing, Xiaoming Mountain. There is a beast, its shape is like a spear and red hair, its sound is like a pomegranate, named Meng Huai, which can resist evil. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a porcupine but with soft red fur. Its call is like the sound of a pulley pumping water. Its name is Meng Huai, and it can be kept by its side to avoid evil. Emperor's House Tree, to ward off evil and evil energy. Zhongshan Classic. In the Classic of Mountains and Seas. Speaking of mountains, there are many jade, zhe, and by trees on them. There is Mu Yen, also known as the Sun Emperor's House. Its leaves are like peppers, which can damage the red soil and prevent evil. Translation. Speaking of mountains, they are rich in jade, with many zhe trees and many bai trees. There is a tree in the mountains called Emperor's House, whose leaf shape is similar to that of Sichuan pepper leaves. It has inverted thorns and red fruits, which can ward off evil spirits. Yugao Jinyu, resisting the invasion of evil and ominous qi. Shanhai Jing, Shishan Jing, mountain is covered with many danmu trees, with leaves and red stems, yellow flowers and red fruits. Its taste is like malt, and it can be eaten without hunger. Dan water flows out of Yen, flowing westward into Jiza, with many white jade among them. It is made of jade paste, which is originally a boiling soup. The Yellow Emperor is a feast for food. It is the birth of Xuanyu. Jade paste is used to infuse danmu. Danmu is 5 years old, with clear colors and fragrant flavors. The Yellow Emperor took the jade glory of Mount Qi and invested in the son of Mount Zhong. Jinyu's jade is of good quality, with a firm and precise grain, and a turbid and lustrous color. 5 color attacks, with harmony and softness. Heaven and earth, ghosts and gods, are food and feasts. A gentleman's attire is auspicious to the emperor. Translation. Mountain, there is jade paste here. When the source of jade paste gushes out, it is a boiling scene. The Yellow Emperor often eats and enjoys this kind of jade paste. There is also a type of black jade produced here. Use this gushing jade paste to irrigate the danmu. After 5 years of growth, the danmu will bloom bright and beautiful 5-colored flowers, and bear fragrant and sweet 5-colored fruits. The Yellow Emperor then picked up the essence of jade from Mount K and planted it in the south of Zhongshan towards the sun. Later on, beautiful jade like Jin and Yu emerged, which were hard and precise, moist and glossy. The 5 colors of talismans emit a mutual radiance, creating a balance of strength, softness, and beauty. Both gods and ghosts come to eat and enjoy. A gentleman wearing it can resist the invasion of evil and ominous qi. End of this chapter. Chapter 8, Drought Bird/Fish. Thin fish, fish, squid fish, drum squid bird. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8, Drought Bird and Fish. Thin fish, fish, squid fish, drum bird, owlman bird, scoop bird, rat bird, the Book of Mountains and Seas. Dongshan Jing, the mountain of the female dragon has no plants or trees on it, and gypsum water flows out. It flows westward into the water of the dragon, with many thin fish in it. Its shape is like a fish with one eye, and its sound is like Europe. If you see it, it will cause a severe drought in the world. Translation. Mount Nu-11 has no flowers, plants, or trees on the mountain. Gypsum water originates from this mountain and then flows westward into the water. There are many thin fish in the water, and the eel, which is shaped like an ordinary eel, has one eye and makes a sound like vomiting. Once it appears, a major drought will occur in the world. Fish, shaped like a fish with bird wings. Shanhai Jing, Dongshan Jing, Zitong Mountain. The water of Zitong flows out, while it flows westward into the Yuru River. There are many fish among them, which are shaped like fish and have bird wings, and there is light in and out. Its sound is like a mandarin duck. When seen, it indicates a severe drought in the world. Translation. Zitong Mountain. Zitong water originates from this mountain and flows westward into Urus. There are many fish growing in the water, which have similar shapes to ordinary fish but have bird wings. When entering and exiting the water, they sparkle and emit sounds like the chirping of mandarin ducks. Once they appear, a major drought will occur in the world. Zhu, an, fish, shaped like an swine hair, mountain and sea sutra Nanshan Sutra, Jishan. Black water flows out, while the south flows into the sea. Among them, there are fish like fish, whose shape is like fish, and swine hair is like fish, whose sound is like a dolphin. If you see it, there will be a great drought in the world. Translation. Jishan. Black water originates from here and flows southward into the ocean. There is a type of catfish growing in the water, which looks like a catfish but has pig hair. Its voice is like that of a wild beast. If you see it, then this place will have hot weather. The drum bird, JN, is shaped like a human face with a dragon body. After death, it is shaped like a hen, with bare feet and a straight beak, and yellow text and white head Zhongshan. The drum is shaped like a human face with a dragon body. The drum also transforms into a bird, resembling a hen in shape by barefoot and straight-beaked, with yellow text and white head. Its sound is like a swan, indicating a severe drought in its city. Translation. The shape of a drum is the face of a human and the body of a dragon. The drum also transforms into a bird, shaped like a typical hawk, but with red feet and a straight mouth. It has yellow stripes on its body but a white head, and its sound is similar to the chirping of a swan. Wherever it appears, there will be a drought. 11. Owl man bird. Shaped like an owl with a human face, Shan Hai Jing. Shishan Jing, Yen, Inzi. On the mountain, there are birds that look like owls and have a human face. They have a dog tail and are named after themselves, indicating a severe drought in their city. There is also a type of bird in the mountains, shaped like an ordinary owl and with a human face. Its body is like a long-tailed ape, but it drags a dog tail. Its call is its name, and wherever it appears, there will be a major drought. The classic of mountains and seas. The southern classic of mountains and seas, Lingqiu Mountain. There is a bird that looks like a curl, with 4 eyes and ears on the human face. Its name is Jiu, and its sound comes from its own horn. Seeing it, the world will experience a severe drought. Translation. Lingqiu Mountain. There is a bird that looks like an owl, but has a human face and 4 eyes, and has ears. Its name is Ting, and its call sounds its name. If you see it, then this place will have hot weather. The classic of mountains and seas. Dongshan Classic. The Catoniaster-shaped mountain has a bird-like appearance, resembling a chicken with mouse hair. Its name is Rat, and if you see it, it indicates a severe drought in the area. Translation. Catoniaster-shaped mountain. There is a bird in the mountain that looks like an ordinary chicken but has a mouse-like tail. Its name is Rat. Wherever it appears, there will be a major drought. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Drought/heat. Fei snake, Pingxi snake, Shaoxi snake, test. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9, Drought and Heat. Fat snake, Ping snake, little snake, test beast, and roaming snake, Fei, snake body with 6 feet and 4 wings. Shan Hai Jing. Shishan Jing, the mountain of Taihua is cut into 4 directions, with a height of 5,000 ren and a width of 10 miles. Birds and beasts cannot inhabit it. There is a snake, named Fei, with 6 legs and 4 wings. If you see it, there will be a severe drought in the world. There is a snake in the mountains, named Fei, with 6 legs and 4 wings. When it appears, it will cause a severe drought in the world. Fei Yi, with 1 snake and 2 bodies. Shan Hai Jing, Beishan Jing, on the Huanxi mountain, there is a snake with 1 head and 2 bodies, named Fei. If you see it, it indicates a severe drought in the country. Translation. Huanxi mountain, here is a snake with 1 head and 2 bodies, named Fei. It will cause a major drought in which country it appears. Ping snake, red-headed and white body. Shan Hai Jing. Xishan Jing, the mountains of the capital are bathed in water. There is a companion snake, with a red head and white body, and its voice is like a cow. When seen, the city is in great drought. There is a large snake in this Yuta mountain, with a red head and a white body. Its sound is like the call of a cow, and wherever it appears, there will be a major drought. Shan Hai Jing, Dong Shan Jing, Du Shan, the water from the last two flows out, while it flows eastward into Mian. Many of them are like yellow snakes, with fish wings, and there is light when entering and exiting. If you see it, the city will experience a severe drought. Dushan, untreated water originates from this mountain and flows southeast into the Mian River. There are many in the water, similar in shape to a yellow snake, with fish-like fins that sparkle when entering and exiting the water. Wherever it appears, there will be a major drought. The Bibi, testing beast, shaped like a fox with wings, Shan Hai Jing, Dong Shan Jing, the mountain of Gufeng is devoid of vegetation and abundant in gold and jade. There is a beast, its shape is like a fox with wings, its sound is like a swan goose, its name is Che Che, and when you see it, there will be a severe drought in the world. Gufeng Mountain has no flowers, plants or trees, but is rich in metal minerals and jade. There is a wild beast in the mountains, which is shaped like a fox but has wings. Its sound is like the chirping of a wild goose, and its name is Chochi. When it appears, a major drought will occur in the world. The sound of a snake, shaped like a snake with four wings, in the Zhongshan Classic of the Classic of Mountains and Seas fresh mountains, fresh water flows out, while the north flows into the Yi River. Among them, there are many roaring snakes, whose shape is like a snake with four wings, and their sound is like a bell. If you see them, it indicates a severe drought in the city. Translation. Xianshan, fresh water originates from here and flows northward into Ishui. There are many chirping snakes in the water, but a typical snake has four wings and makes a sound like knocking on a rock. Wherever it appears, a major drought will occur. End of this chapter. Chapter 10, Self-Roaming Beast. Yugue Zuzi Tianmath Na. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10, Self-Roaring Beast. Yugue Zuzi Tianmath Nafu Linghu Song Song Yugue Yohu Jingjing, Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, Qian Shan has no vegetation, its yang has gold and jade, and its yin has iron but no water. There is a beast that looks like a cow and has 3 legs. Its name is and its sound comes from, 11 o means, calling. Translation. Qian Shan, there is a wild beast in the mountain that looks like an ordinary cow but has 3 legs. Its name is, and the sound it makes is the pronunciation of its own name. The Classic of Mountains and Seas. The North Mountain Classic, on the mountain of Bianchuan, there is a beast that looks like a jade with a tattoo, is good at laughing, and lies down when seeing people. It is called Yugue, and it calls out to itself. Translation. Bianchuan Mountain, there is a wild beast in the mountain that looks like an ape and is covered in patterns. It likes to laugh and pretend to be asleep when it sees a person. Its name is Yugue, and the sound it calls is the pronunciation of its own name. Zuzi, Z, the Classic of Mountains and Seas. North Mountain Classic, the mountain of Man Lien has no grass or trees on it, but there are beasts on it. Its shape is like a jade, but there are hyenas, ox tails, 1 arms, and horse horns. When you see people, you call it Zuzi, and its sound is self-calling. Translation. Monlian Mountain, there is a wild beast in the mountain that looks like an ape but has mane hair. It also has a cow-like tail, patterned arms, and horse-like hooves. When it sees a person, it calls, and its name is Zuzi. The sound it calls is the pronunciation of its own name. Tian Ma, white dog with black head. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, Mount Makeng is adorned with many inscriptions and stones, while its shade is adorned with gold and jade. There is a beast that looks like a white dog with a black head. When it sees a person, it flies. Its name is Tianma, and its sound comes from the sky. Translation. Mokeng Mountain is rich in textured and beautiful stones, while the northern shaded area is rich in metal minerals and jade. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like an ordinary white dog but with a black head. When it sees a person, it soars into the air and is named Tianma. Its call is the pronunciation of its own name. The father beast, shaped like a cow and with a white tail. Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, the mountain of Guanti has many towering cliffs above it, and many flowing sand and rocks below it. There is a beast, with a shape like a cow and a white tail, and a sound like a spear, named Na Fu. Translation. Guanti Mountain, there is a wild beast in the mountain that looks like an ordinary cow but drags a white tail. Its sound is like that of a human calling out loudly, and its name is that father. The leading beast, resembling a cow with its tail, is the Northern Mountain Classic in the Classic of Mountains and sees Yangshan is rich in jade above and gold and copper below. There is a bird that looks like a red pheasant, and its 5 picks are written in Chinese. It is a female peony named Elephant Snake, and its name is Zigui. Translation. Yangshan, there are abundant jade and stones on the mountain, and abundant gold and copper at the foot of the mountain. There is also a type of bird in the mountains, shaped like a female pheasant, with colorful patterns on its feathers. This bird has both male and female senses, and its name is Elephant Snake. Its call is the pronunciation of its own name. From the beast, resembling a dog with 6 legs, to the Eastern Mountain Classic in the Classic of Mountains and sees the mountain in the shape of a cotoneaster has an animal-like shape, resembling a dog with 6 legs. Its name is Tsong Tsong, and its sound comes from the ground. Translation. Cotoneaster-shaped mountain, there is a wild beast in the mountain that looks like a regular dog but has 6 legs. Its name is derived from the sound of its own name. The Book of Mountains and Seas. Dongshan Jing, Mount Taishan is rich in jade and gold. There is a beast that looks like a dolphin and has pearls, named, and its sound comes from the earth. Mount Taishan is rich in jade on the mountain and gold on the foot. There is a wild beast in the mountains that has a shape similar to a typical pig but has beads inside. Its name is, and the sound it makes is the pronunciation of its own name. The Book of Mountains and Seas. Dongshan Jing, on the mountain of Shihu, there is a beast that looks like a deer and has fish eyes. It is called Shihu, and its sound comes from the wind. Translation. Shihu Mountain. There is a wild beast in the mountains, shaped like a deer but with fish-like eyes. Its name is Hu, and the sound it makes is the pronunciation of its own name. Jingjing beast, shaped like a cow with a horse's tail. Shan Hai Jing, Dong Shan Jing, there is a beast on the mountain of Haoyu, which looks like a cow with a horse's tail and is called Jingjing. Its sound comes from the wind. Translation. Mount Haoyu, there is a wild beast in the mountain that looks like a typical cow but has a horse-like tail. Its name is Jingjing, and the sound it makes is the pronunciation of its own name. Ma Jun, Hun. Shaped like a sheep with 4 horns, Shan Hai Jing, Bei Shan Jing, returning to the mountain, there are gold and jade on top, and blue below. There is a beast that looks like a sheep with 4 horns and a horse's tail with a distance. Its name is Ma Jun, which is good at returning, and its name comes from E. Returning to the mountain, metal minerals and jade are produced on the mountain, while jade is produced at the foot of the mountain. There is a wild beast in the mountains that looks like an ordinary antelope but has 4 horns. It has a horse-like tail and chicken-like claws, and its name is Ma Jun, Hun. It is good at spinning and dancing, and its call is the pronunciation of its own name. End of this chapter.